Hello there, and welcome to the Puffin podcast. And I'm your host, Jake Thomas. Now, this week has been uh, really interesting. I've, gone back to the police department working dispatch, and I had like a shortened field training period. I did 3 days of night shift and 2 days of day shift, and then I'm off training now. Have my first actual shift tomorrow, back on night shift. So I'm readjusting my sleep schedule yet again so I can, you know, get good sleep and do night shift. And going back to the police department, wasn't sure how much of it was going to come back naturally, and I was surprised at how much it was just like I was never gone. Like I just got back in and was just in the routine almost instantly. Um, yeah, I was really surprised at like how much muscle memory I had with that job and didn't realize it. Like there's like our time clock, so our HR is like, "Oh, do you want a new pin for the time clock?" And I was like, "Yes," because it's been 6 months. I'm like, I don't remember what my pin for the time clock was, and now every time I go to clock in, I type my old pin and not my new one. Just because it was just muscle memory. Like, I didn't even realize I remembered what it was. But, like, as soon as I got to the time clock, like, it was just like autopilot typing it in. And then, yeah, I was surprised that's how a lot of it was. Like, I just got in and, like, as soon as I, like, got logged into the computer and, like, in the chair, it was, oh my gosh, it's like everything just rushed back and like my brain just like went back into dispatch mode. And so yeah, that was interesting. I'm glad it was like that. I'm glad it wasn't something that came back gradually. I'm glad it was something that just, it flooded back, and I just had to pick up on like little changes or just like minor things that I didn't remember or forgot about. And man, there's been a few changes, and I mean, for the most part, they're good changes. Like I'm really excited because our 911 system has been changed to where we can answer the 911 phone through our radio headset, so we don't have to actually pick up the physical receiver anymore. And that's great for several reasons. One, it keeps your hands free so you can keep typing or writing while you're on that phone. But also, when you talk on the radio, it mutes you to the caller, so the caller can't hear you talking to the officers. Whereas before, you could manually mute it if you wanted, but that took too much time. So I usually just ended up like covering the receiver with like one hand and tilting it over, then talking to the radio. And a lot of times with that, people would be like wondering why you're talking to someone else, or they'd ask you what you're saying because they didn't understand what you're doing. And so doing that, having it automatically mute you while you talk to the officers on the radio, it's great because you can still hear the caller, so you can still so you're still getting information, but it just makes it easier to handle both of those conversations at once. And yeah, that was so nice. But with that, like the second 911 call I took after coming back, I picked up the old receiver because the old receiver is still on the desk because some people still like to use it. Um, I thought I was going to be like that until I used it, until I used the system going to the headset. And yeah, it is a lot nicer having it come to the headset. But because the old physical receiver is still laying on the desk, not plugged into anything. I picked it up and started having a conversation while holding this receiver that's hooked up to nothing. And I got about halfway through the conversation. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I holding this phone? And I was just like, I can't believe I did that. I was like, yeah. I was like, Jake, what are you doing? And then the next day I told my coworker about it and we had a good laugh. And I was just like, yeah, I just couldn't believe I did that. But yeah, other than that, man, getting back to the police department's been good. Um, Everything's going great there. Got yeah, and it's almost like I never even left. Just picking up all those relationships where we left off. It's been good. It's been great. And let's see, man, and my kid, for whatever reason, somehow he has been on a Bigfoot craze. Like, he has been watching Bigfoot shows, like, almost nonstop for, like, a week and a half now. And it's like, he doesn't, like, pick one show and, like, watch the, like, whole season of that show, the whole series. No. He'll put it on a specific Bigfoot show, watch one episode, and then repeat that episode all day. And the next day, he'll go to the next episode. And it's like, why don't you just, watch them all, like, in line? Like, why do you keep watching the same episode? And he just, that's just what he does. That's just how he wants to watch it. And he's convinced that there are 3 Bigfoots living in the woods by our house. I was like, how do you know there's Bigfoots over there? I was like, have you seen them? And he's like, no, Dad, they're Bigfoots. So it's like he understands that Bigfoot is very elusive and that people haven't actually seen or haven't proven Bigfoot. I don't want to say people haven't seen him because I'm sure people have, but people haven't proven that they've seen Bigfoot. And he's always talking about Bigfoot now. And yeah. Yeah. And then I was telling my wife, I was asking Kalsin about the Bigfoots that live in the woods. I was like, what color are they? Are they brown or are they white? And my wife's like, there are no white Bigfoots. I'm like, yes, there are. And she's like, no, there's not. All Bigfoots are brown. And I was like, Yetis and abominable snowmen are white Bigfoots. They're just Bigfoots that have white fur. And I don't know. Some of you may out there may be like, oh no, there's maybe some technical difference I'm not thinking of, but no. Yetis, Bigfoot, same thing, just different variations. That's how I see it. But yeah. But me and one of the officers had good conversations about Bigfoot the other day. So I was telling him about it, and he's a big Bigfoot paranormal and supernatural, all kinds of stuff. He's into a lot of that stuff, and I am too, to some degree. And so we talk about that stuff quite frequently. And he's telling me some interesting things, and he likes hearing that my son likes Bigfoot. He thinks that's cool. And so, yeah, my kid's just all into Bigfoot right now. And, yeah, Bigfoot. And so, now that we're I'm going to try and get away from Bigfoot talk now. But yeah, so Thanksgiving was this past week too. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I know I had a good one, and you know, no one came over. Um, my mother-in-law was at work all day. My sister-in-law was out of the house all day, so it's just me, Brandy, and Kalsin at home. And it was really nice because I think it's the first time that it's just been the three of us for like for like over like an hour at a time in a long time. And so it was really nice just having it be the three of us for Thanksgiving. It was very relaxing. We did a lot of cleaning. We cleaned up the house a good little bit. Did a lot of the cooking. But with it just being the three of us, even though we were doing like chores and stuff, it was relaxing. It was nice not having a lot of people around. And I know Thanksgiving's usually a time to gather with lots of family, but you know, it was nice to do the opposite this year. Um, yeah, it was it was a good day of relaxing. It was great. We we watched some good Christmas movies. Um, and just really getting into the ready to transition from Thanksgiving to Christmas and getting ready to kick off that Christmas season. So we had that. Um, yeah, and and Black Friday. Um, yeah, Black Friday is usually a big thing for us. Not so much this year, just because I know Walmart they've staggered a lot of their Black Friday sales throughout the month, so there's no big rush on Black Friday. Um, the big thing we usually do on Black Friday is we go to Max, and they usually the first like 100 people I think it is, you get a gift card, and it ranges anywhere between like $5 and $500. Like there's a whole bunch of $5 ones, and there's like one $500 one, and then random ones in between. I think the best we've ever done is, I think, a couple years ago one of us got a $50 gift card, which is pretty cool. I'm happy with the $5 one. And but this year they're not doing that. Like they are having sales on Black Friday, but they didn't do the gift cards to the first so many in the door. And they open at 7, and people get out there at like 3 in the morning and start camping out. And we usually do that. And it's always cold and raining, always. But this year they're not doing that. They did an online drawing, and instead of all these gift cards, they're doing, I think, four. I think it's either 4 or 7. It's one of those. I don't remember. But they're all $500, and it's just a couple drawings. Um, and so that's interesting. Uh, I almost forgot to enter, but my wife entered me in for it. So thank you, Brandy, for making sure I got entered into that. Fingers crossed. And yeah, so that's not happening. Um, I think, yeah, so that's it for, Black Friday's a lot different this year than it has been in the past, but that's okay because, you know, I'm gonna be sleeping during the day. So, and that's gonna wrap it up this week. If you enjoyed, give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram. Check it out on YouTube. I got the Sharpie art going on YouTube, and yeah. And starting this week, episode 1 will only be available on YouTube, and from here on out, anything older than 10 episodes will only be available on YouTube. That may change here in a few weeks, but as of right now, that's how it's going to be. Anything older than 10 episodes is going to only be available on YouTube. So check out my YouTube, and I'll catch you all next week.